Hey everybody, it's Sean here bringing you another how-to video. Today we are going to be replacing the front brake lever on a 2002 through 2009 Kawasaki KLX 110. These little trail bikes are super popular, and today, if you see here, I recently bought this bike and it's got a broken front brake lever. In fact, this is what I'm told from the previous owner, a clutch lever off a different bike that they basically jerry-rigged to get working on this bike, just so they didn't ruin their day when their front brake lever broke from a tip over. And you can see this one has actually been broken itself. So we're going to put the right part on today. What you need to get the job done here is a replacement brake lever. I bought this one from Dennis Kirk. It's a Parts Unlimited lever, and I bet you it cost me less than $10. So pretty simple and cheap part to replace. I'm gonna get it pretty much an OEM spec lever, nothing too fancy. It's not a folding lever or a breakaway lever or anything like that. But for 10 bucks, can't beat that. And then we're gonna use a 10mm socket and ratchet. Got a 1/4-inch ratchet there, and then a 10mm wrench. And you can get away with two 10mm wrenches if that's all you've got, or two 10mm sockets. So first thing we're gonna do here is on the bike, we're going to loosen this 10mm bolt, and you can see underneath we do have a 10mm nut on the back. That's why you need two. So let's go ahead and get that loose, and I'll show you the next steps. Alrighty, now that you got that loose, we're going to remove the lever from the bike, and you can see there's our front brake cable right there. And this one's going to be opposite of yours, right? Because mine's installed upside down. This is a clutch lever. So yours on the opposite side of the bike, so facing downward, you'll see this little groove that the front brake cable slides into. And we're just going to pop that out of there. Now we can remove the broken or old lever. Set that down. And we're going to open our new one from the package, and we're going to slide it in that cable in the same groove right there where my thumb is that we essentially just popped the old one out of. So this one here is going to install the right way, so the groove you can see will be on the bottom of the lever. So I'll go ahead and do that here shortly, and I'll show you what I did. Alrighty, you can see I've got the new lever on here, and again, you're going to be on the bottom side of the bike to get that little pin in. One thing I want to make note of here is if you're having a hard time getting the new lever on, or maybe even getting the old lever off in the first place, you can adjust your clutch, or excuse me, your front brake cable's play by tightening this in. So mine was actually a little further out. I was having a hard time getting that replacement lever on. So I ended up screwing this adjustment all the way in, which essentially gives me more slack in the cable. And another thing I want to show you, in case that doesn't work for you, if we go down at the actual front brake drum, if you adjust these, which in my case were two 10mm nuts, if you adjust these so that your cable is all the way downward, so you can see how this cable will move. If you adjust this top nut, loosen it up and pull it so it's all the way downward, that's going to give you as much play as you can get on that cable. Now, just keep in mind that if you adjust it down here or at the handlebar, either way, you're likely going to have to tighten those back up or adjust them out and stretch that cable again to make sure that you've got good front brake feel. So I just want to clarify that. If you want the same exact feel as when you took the lever off, of course, don't make any adjustments. But if you need that play just to be able to get the original lever off or the new one on, once you make that adjustment, you're going to have to adjust that back on the bike once you're ready to ride, so that you have front brake feel. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I think this is just decent best practice to follow On this little bolt here, you can see where there's some friction, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. You can see there's some grime there, and that's just from the metal rubbing as you use that lever. So I'm gonna clean that up, and I'm gonna put a small dab of high temp red grease. In my case, doesn't really matter what kind of grease. You could use a white lithium grease if that's what you've got, but a little bit of grease on just this small section here of this bolt. That way that lever operates smoothly. We don't want to put a ton where we're collecting dirt or grime, and that's gonna, gunk it up and make it harder over time. But in this case, just a small little amount. That way when it sits in that groove on the bike, that it operates well. So I'm gonna go ahead and lube up that bolt, and I'll get that put in here, and we'll get it tightened up, and that should wrap up our process. Alrighty, so I've gone ahead and readjusted everything. You can see I'm getting towards the end of the brake shoes in here in these this drum. So we got this maxed out on the adjustment. We're not maxed out here at the lever, but we're using some of it. So not a whole lot left for adjustment before those shoes will need to be replaced. But anyway, I do have really good brake feel now on this front brake lever. And lever looks good, brand new and ready to go. So hopefully this could have helped you out if you're in the same boat where you need to replace your front brake lever on a 2002 through 2009 Kawasaki KLX 110. Thanks everybody. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and I'll keep making videos to help you out. Take care.